And last but not least, Chris Anderson.
My name is Chris. A little about me, I'm 33 years old. I'm single, or as my family likes to put it, still single. See, I don't have a lot of life experience, and which is scary because I'm 33 years old. And based on my family's health history and the fact that I start sweating when I peel an orange, I probably have already lived half of my life. I've experienced so little. The Duggar children have more life experience than me. Granted, theirs is a little more culty than I would like. It's still something. I don't travel, and I don't go out to bars and restaurants, and I don't date. The dating was a choice. I don't date by choice. It's not my choice. It's more like the collective women of Chicago's choice. Like, ladies, I'm all for pro-choice, but goddamn, like, come on. You know your dating life is rough when you get jealous of the people on Love on the Spectrum. It's not just as awkward as them. Like, why are they getting all the action? For those of you who don't know, this TV show is about people with autism and their search for love. And every time I watch the show, I think, this is oddly familiar. And I start to question, like, do I have, like, I don't think I have full-blown autism, but I definitely think I have, like, a touch of the tism. But I never planned on being single in my 30s. This wasn't part of my plan. Like, it just happened. Or I guess it didn't happen, and that's why I'm here. But this wasn't part of my plan, and I'm an over-planner. I plan so much that when I go away for a weekend, I pack 12 to 15 pairs of underwear just in case. I pack like I'm planning on shitting myself 3 to 4 times a day. When really it's probably only once, maybe twice on a day. It's gotten so bad, and I've had so much trouble over the years that I had to go out and ask one of my friends for help. And her name is Jackie, and she's a straight shooter, so I knew she would tell me the truth. I'm like, Jackie, what's the problem? Why is this so difficult? And she's like, Chris, I'm not going to sugarcoat this for you. It's going to be tough for someone like you to find someone. Okay. She's like, well, you're great, it's just you're an acquired taste. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now, the only time I ever hear people talk about acquired taste is when they're talking about nasty shit like Malort. So I guess I'm the Malort of men. You know, you hear or see Chris, and 99% of women go, ugh. I guess that's the only gagging I cause women. Told me one thing that really sucked at me. She's like, Chris, you have to put yourself out there. No one is going to come knocking on your door. And she's right. No one is going to come knocking on my door. And I realized even if my dream girl were to come knocking on my door, as a millennial, I wouldn't answer it. Whenever someone knocks on my door, I mute the TV, I turn the lights off, and I wait it out. A couple of weeks ago, somebody knocked on my door while I was in the shower. I had no idea what to do. I turned the water off, and I just sat there shivering. I was literally living my own episode of Naked and Afraid. But I took her advice and I put myself out there. And how do you put yourself out there nowadays? You go on the apps. And I have been on the apps for a number of years, and I'm probably the only person that you'll ever meet that has never gotten a date on the app. In fact, I rarely ever even get matches or messages. The only notifications I get from Hinge are from Hinge itself saying, hang in there. In a few more years of this, I will be hanging in there. I'll be hanging from the rafters. Provided it holds my weight. Right now, tomato. So, obviously I can't do this on my own, so what do? I go to my friends for help. So I went to my best friend, his name is Adam, and I went to Adam's fiance, her name is Daisy. And I needed their help. I'm like, Adam, Daisy, like, would you guys be willing to set me up with someone? Daisy, you're a nurse, like, do you have any single friends or maybe co-workers or other nurses that you know of? And she's like, I have a single friend, but it wouldn't work out. And I'm like, well, why? Like, I have to know, that, like, what is it? And she's like, it's nothing, it's just, looks are really important to her, so. Now, I had never had someone so casually tell me how ugly I am. And I knew she meant it because we weren't arguing, she wasn't angry, she was just spitting out straight facts. So, obviously that didn't work, but I went to my other friend. My other friend is named Emily, and Emily came up to me once and she got all excited. She's like, Chris, I have a coworker. She's been single for a few months, and I think you guys would be great together. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. And I was like, what's her name? She's like, Kathleen. I'm like, all right, Kathleen, Kathy, Kate. She's like, no, she only goes by Kathleen. I'm like, okay, Kathleen. Duck up, bitch, but. And I'm like, all right, well, what's she into? Like, what are Kathleen's hobbies? And I'll never forget it. Emily right away was like, well, she's diabetic. I didn't know that was a hobby. And I've always struggled with the question like, Chris, what are your hobbies? Like all these years I could have been like, hi, I'm Chris, I like Marvel movies and rheumatoid arthritis. So obviously I was thrown off by that answer and I didn't know what to say, so I said the only thing I could at the time. Type 1 or type 2? Does she have bad genes or can she not fit into jeans? I don't know. I told Emily, I'm like, Emily, I don't have diabetes, so we wouldn't have that in common. Now maybe one day I will, but we're not And obviously she's getting frustrated with me, but the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what, there's probably some perks of dating someone with diabetes, right? She probably lives a healthy lifestyle, so she probably would help me. She has to, like, she would die if she doesn't, right? Also, another perk, she probably always is carrying snacks, right? Just in case she doesn't have something. I picture her probably having like a fruit roll-up, like strapped to her ankle, just ready to go. And then in hippie, I've always wanted a sugar mama. She could just be my Splenda mama. Obviously, Emily wasn't happy with this, so she's like, Chris, never mind. And this is why I'm still single. Thanks, guys.